Hi everyone and welcome to my impromptu room tour video. The reason that I'm doing this right now is because I'm moving out. It's been almost 6 years since I started living here with two of my buddies, so it's time to move on finally. The apartment itself has been really good to me, well for the most part, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Throughout the years, this room has changed in terms of layout, but mostly focusing around the shelves and the desk. But what you're seeing on screen right now is a video from the very first time I stepped foot into this room. So now I'll just show a couple of pictures, mainly focusing, as I mentioned, around the shelf, since I started collecting games, like a lot of games, when I started working my first job as a QA. I'm not gonna say where. From that job I actually found my love for single player games and console games in general, so I started buying a lot of shit. And you see now that it started growing and growing very rapidly to the point where now I don't have any room to store them. So one of the main reasons why I'm moving out is, I would say that. Yeah, let's start the room tour, shall we? So as we enter the room, on the left you can see my two Detolfs with most of my figurines, and as you can see most of them are collector's editions from video games, but I do have some anime stuff as well. So starting with the left one, we have a Mammoth from Horizon Forbidden West. It's a chonker, so it wasn't able to fit into the Detolf, and I decided to put it right on the top. Probably it has some very big dust bunnies, and I'll try to clean it up as much as I can. Below it we have Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat 1, and again it was very high, so what I decided to do, as you can see, is buy these, I don't know what to call them, like metal thingies, so I can lower the shelf itself as much as possible, so I can fit him in. And it turned out pretty well, to be honest. I might do that for the next one as well, but for the time being it does the job. And below that we have three figures. One is from Elden Ring, most of you should know it by now. An Assassin's Creed one with a very bad game, but you know, the figure itself is pretty cool. And a game that I still haven't played, it's Tales of Arise. It came in a very giant box. I'll even show it right here. It's so big for no apparent reason, since the figurine is like, I don't know, maybe 12 centimeters. Moving along, we have a figure from Resident Evil 8 and a standee from Alan Wake. Two amazing games. Whoever's watching this and you're a video game lover as myself, just play them. I beg you, they're so good. And at the bottom is my little shelf for my Final Fantasy stuff. Not all of them, some of them are on the other shelves, but as you can see, I have the two special editions for Remake and Rebirth, and that right there is Final Fantasy 16. But yeah, I'll try to not stop at every figurine, since this video will be very long and I do want to maybe cover the most important stuff. But yeah, this is my proud possession, like I would say my most expensive figurine. I'm not a big fan of the game itself, but I do like the character. Right behind it, that's a manga from Japan, since I went there. And right below it, I have almost all of my stuff that I bought in Japan last year when I went with my friends. So I decided to dedicate a shelf for them. But yeah, just briefly, this is from the Nintendo World. Again, this is from Universal Studios. This is from the Harry Potter Museum. And I'm not gonna tell the mascot, but if you know him, man, that shop is amazing. Okay, and I'm skipping one shelf since it has a picture of me and my friends from Japan, and I'm too lazy to blur that, so we go to this shelf where it has three figures that I'm not a big fan of, but I still keep them around since they were one of my first that I actually bought. And what's actually holding those two Detolfs is what I would like to call the IKEA hack. I don't know the name of this particular shelf itself. It makes it so that the Detolfs are higher, so you can actually see more of the stuff. And below them I have two arcade sticks. You can see that they're actually the same, but one actually has a Korean lever and one has the Japanese lever for my fighting game nerds. And the one with the Japanese lever is brand new, so it was pretty cheap and I decided to buy it since Razer doesn't sell them anymore. And next to my Detolfs we actually have my three Billies. You can see that the middle one is different from the rest because IKEA decided to change them for no apparent reason, and I hate it. In my opinion, it's sturdier than the other ones, like the black ones, but it just looks out of place. So I'll probably remove these two and buy dedicated media shelves, and I'll probably keep this one for, you know, my manga stuff. So really quick, At the top for all three shelves I keep most of my collector's boxes. Some people don't like to keep them, like my roommate, he threw out a lot of them, but for me personally, when I buy a collector's edition or a special edition, I really love the cardboard boxes, so I have all of them, like I haven't thrown out any of them. But on the left we have a couple from Elden Ring, MK and Tekken 8. And this whole shelf is my manga shelf. To be honest, I kind of fallen off from the whole hobby of collecting and reading manga, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll definitely finish the Vinland Saga since it has one more tome, so I can have the whole series. Next to it we have High Score Girl. I have to buy them from abroad since they are not sold here for some reason. And Fire Punch, no idea why I bought this, but I have them. My anime figures are all here. I'll keep some of them, but again, I've fallen off from collecting anime figurines throughout the years, so I might sell some of them, but most of them I'll try to keep. Let's call this the romance shelf, you can see. And most of my mangas actually are romance related. Once I started watching anime, my most favorite stuff were romance related and, high school. I started actually reading them. On the bottom again, Komi Can't Communicate, a big series that still hasn't finished. It's like on volume 31 and I think it probably finished around 36. So I still need to buy those, probably I will. But regarding Spy X Family, I'm not going to complete it, like I don't even care for this anymore. The anime is really good, but yeah. Chainsaw Man, pretty good manga, I'll probably keep collecting this. And again, Core of the Night, one of my most favorite mangas and anime of all time. Now season 2 is airing, so I'll definitely keep buying those. And on the sides, we have Frieren, being it on the side, there's no room for it. Zero 2 figurine, this is my original Switch OLED. I was planning to do a video, so it's still here, but I'll probably put it inside its box. At the bottom, one of my first figurines. And at the back we have some Japanese related manga. Boxes that keeps figurines that I'll be selling, hopefully someone buys them. And 2 Gundams, that one was built and this one I'm still building. And yeah, my original PS5, because I decided to buy the PS5 Pro. It was very cheap, second hand, so I was like, oh what the hell, I'll just buy it, and that's why I did it. But this will be in reserve, because as I mentioned, I have a lot of games, so if something happens to the PS5 Pro, I can still use my original one. But yeah, again, the reason I'm doing this video is personally, I like watching room tours, collections, but most of my relatives haven't seen this room. And since I'm leaving, of course, I wanted to show them. They don't speak English, but they can just watch along. This is my PS4 and Vita shelf. As you can see, some of them are Japanese, again from last year. As you can see, there's not enough room. These are my recent pickups, like mostly collections. I wanted to buy Final Fantasy X and BioShock, since a lot of people praised these 2 games. And I was like, okay, time to spend more money on video games that I won't be playing anytime soon. But yeah, not enough room. Hopefully in my new place, as I mentioned, I'll buy media shelves. Probably be able to fit those in. Collector's edition figurine from AI Somnium Files. And on the right, I have another one from a Chinese anime. I think it was Chinese, yeah. King's Avatar. And since I'm filming this video right now, it's so hot and I'm sweating buckets. Like, you can't see me because I don't want you to see me at the moment. But yeah, it's super hot, and I'll be rambling about a lot of stuff since this video might take a lot of time. The second shelf houses my Japan pickups from last year, video game related. Not all of them, but some obscure ones like PS2, PS3, PSP, some 3DS. And I do have a video on my channel that I go through this collection little by little. It is in Bulgarian, but if you want to see the arts and see what I bought, you can check them out. 2 3DSs, don't ask me why. 2 Vitas, don't ask me why. Some knickknacks from PlayAsia when I buy games. And below that we have my Tekken 8, or Tekken in general, shelf. I've fallen off this game since, if you're aware, Tekken 8 is not in a good place at the moment, but I still love the franchise, I still love the characters themselves. So at the back I have all of the games except the first one. Most of them are from Japan again. But yeah, Tekken 7 Collector's Edition, Tekken 8 Collector's Edition, and this should have been the Tekken 8 Collector's Edition, but they sold this separately, so I decided to buy it. And actually the director himself, Harada-san, he signed this on the bottom. Also, soundtrack still unopened. Tekken 7 had the better music, but Tekken 8, it's alright. Okay, right below the Tekken shelf we have my, well, don't mind that, that's not important. My little shelf for Xenoblade. Again, most of those pickups were from Japan, like the collector's edition, the art book, and another collector's edition on the back. Those are Amiibos, a Figma of Mew, because that's my favorite character. Now about this abomination, my roommate decided to decorate them with Animal Crossing heads, but those were from magazines. Again, I started collecting them since I was a Marvel fan. Again, I've fallen off from those and I just didn't buy any anymore. Okay, oh, I have to squat for this one. My old legs and joints. Pins for Persona 5. Those houses my Arsenal base cards. Again, if you're interested, you can check out my Japan related videos and you can check like my binder and what I've bought. And this again is from Japan, from the Harry Potter Museum. No, actually that was from Universal Studios, never mind me. And on the bottom, finally we have some plushies and another fighting controller because I'm a big fan. This is a gift from my roommate, so thank you so much. The reason I'm not going through every single game that I own is because once I move to my new place, I plan to do a dedicated video for every platform like PS5, PS4 or Switch. So there's no point in going through them right now. I'm running out of room. I should stop buying games, I don't know. I'm keeping this sealed, the Astrobot controller, Baldur's Gate 3, Collector's Edition, pretty cool. I'll play this game on PC, so I'm not opening this. And a couple of game-related figurines, Jury from Street Fighter 6, and Tifa from Final Fantasy 7. My Switch shelf, again, not enough room, so I'm double stacking. You can see all of my Nintendo first-party games are on the back. And this continues to third parties, to this point, some limited run games, and then a lot of Japanese related games from my Japan trip. Another game dedicated shelf, it's surrounding the Persona IP from Atlus, and actually my friend designed this layout, which I very much appreciate, so I'll try to keep it as unchanged as possible in my new place. Or if the media shelf actually allows it, but we'll see. A lot of video games from different platforms, a lot of figurines, collector's editions. As you can see, I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I've played not all games, but the most modern ones I've actually played and completed. And a lot of stuff are actually sealed because, I don't know, I just like them to have the wrapper on and be clean. And on the bottom we have steelbooks. For those that don't know, some games actually either come in steelbooks or come with steelbooks. I've used to collect them, but now they either don't provide a normal game and just provide a steelbook, or they don't provide a disc, just a code to download the game. So yeah, I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore, and that's why I stopped it. This is my Switch 2 and my Steam Deck OLED. I have no play sales to keep them, so for now they're resting on this shelf. Again, my new place. Hopefully I have a dedicated shelf for handheld consoles. On the bottom, a lot of special editions, mostly Switch related as you can see, but we also have PS4, PS5. I really love the Nintendo related collector's editions, like limited editions, because they actually come with a game, with a steelbook, art book, soundtrack, some other knickknacks. So I'm still collecting those, even though there's not enough room. And on the bottom, a lot of art books and some other stuff, like, for example, this was a gift from my company when I left to Japan. A lot of Japan stuff, huh? But yeah, Ready Player 2, Hideo Kojima, pretty good read to be honest. Disrupting the Game from Reggie, Nintendo related, and ASCII Water, rest his soul. What an amazing dude. He was in charge of Nintendo and everyone loves him. On the right, finally, we have a collector's edition piece. It was a gift. And some Funko Pops limited edition. This is how it looks like at the moment. As I've shown you the pictures, you can see that again, it's changed, but that's for the final time, at least for this room. Not enough room. So I'm really glad that we're actually moving. And actually on the right side, I have my wardrobe, again a lot of boxes at the top, and I'm glad that I actually kept them because now I can use them to basically put everything inside them again and keep them safe. I guess since we are here, this is my cork board. I don't know the name in English, I think it's a cork board. I started collecting pins. As you can see, when you saw, I had a lot of collector's editions, and most of the pins I haven't used. They were kept sealed, so I was like, well, let me buy this piece and actually put them on. And I believe it looks pretty good. Like, you can see a lot of Nintendo related ones. All of these came from my Japan trip, as shown from a display that I bought just to make sure that, you know, this is Japan and those are collectors. My nightstand, this picture right here was a gift for my mom. I actually love it. I mean, she only knows that I like Mario, but I like a lot of stuff. But I'm glad that she went out of her way to commission this and buy it for me, so I really appreciate her for that. But yeah, it's just some perfumes like Blue Seduction. Yeah, I'm not seducing anyone, buddy. A lot of cords for charging like Steam Deck, PS Vita for any reason, and my phone charger. Now we get to the part where I spend most of my time, except when I'm sleeping or sitting on the toilet, and that's the entertainment section. As I mentioned, when I got my first job, I started buying a lot of console-related games. 3 years ago, I decided to finally spend a lot of my paycheck on an actual 4K OLED TV, and that's the LG C165, I believe. But it's been really good to me throughout these years, and it's still holding out pretty well. But yeah, right below it, we have my DIY media storage cabinet, because as you can see, the PS5, I wanted to keep it in a vertical stand, so the only way to do that was to buy a wall-mounted shelf. And this table right here, again, a gift from my roommate. I'll be changing out this one, and I'll show you a picture of what I'm planning to buy. Right below it, we have my PS5 Pro, as I mentioned, a charging dock for my controllers, the PS5 Pro controller, Switch 2 dock, case for the Pro controller, DualSense Edge or whatever it's called. A lot of Pro controllers for the Switch, because I was planning to play with friends, but they don't want to play with me for any reason. And some cases. I guess my first headset for the PS5 that I haven't been using since I bought it, because I bought another one, you'll see in a little bit. And this right here is a purifier that I was planning to use it for it to minimize the dust buildup, but for some reason it didn't do that. Unfortunately, the place this apartment is, it gets very dusty since a lot of cars are moving left and right, so it didn't do the job, but at least it helps out with the air purification stuff, I don't know. And on the left side of it, we have my PC, as you can see, with 2 monitors. Again, this is a perfect place, because what if I don't want to actually sit and play on the TV? I can actually hook up my consoles to my PC and play on the monitors. So I'll keep this layout in my new apartment, and I can do that again. It's very easy to stream, because I can use a capture card, plug in my PS5, play on that monitor, check chat and donations on that monitor, so it's pretty good. I would say this is the IKEA hack, but not entirely. So yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to know the specs of this PC, but it's pretty old now. It's been 6 years since I first built it, but it has a RTX 2080, i7 9070K, 16 RAM, 2 NVMe SSD, 2 terabytes and 1 500 gigabytes. Actually, I have a hard disk as well, but I don't use that anymore. On the left, I have my ultra-wide monitor. That's actually a recent purchase. It's like a couple of months ago. It's the Samsung, what was it called? Samsung OLED 34-inch G9? I believe. I don't know. I'll put it on screen if you want to know about it, but despite it being very hard to set up properly because of NVIDIA graphics and their app, it's pretty freaking sick. Actually, playing fully ultra-wide supported games is a blast. I might show some on screen. Below them, I have my Logitech sound stuff, a Stream Deck, again a gift from my roommate. He gave me a lot of stuff, I don't know why. This is from Japan, Divum. But yeah, it just shows pixel art, pretty cool. This used to have my microphone plugged in. That's the only reason that it's here, but I decided to get rid of it. And I still keep this for if I want to plug that in. But at the moment I'm using the headset from Sony. It's InZone 7 something something, I don't know. I primarily use it for the microphone when I want to talk with my friends. Keyboard, 8-bit Duo Retro keyboard. It's pretty handy because I'm working from home. So if I want to use it for my work laptop, I just flick that switch right here and it changes to 2.4. And finally, above all of this entertainment are my posters. I have a 40-year limited edition Star Wars one, and 80th anniversary for Batman, the comics, a Super Mario Odyssey one, some fighting related ones like Fate of Fury, KOF 15, this is Street Fighter 6, and this I'll probably blur it out, and if I'm lazy I'm not even going to show this, but this was a gift from my workmates in my first job. You can figure out where I was working from these two, I guess. I'm pretty happy, like amazing guys. We don't talk that much nowadays. Finally for this section, at the bottom, buffer, the box for PS5 Pro. And this is my chair. It's been maybe 4 years. You can see it's been through the bushes, pretty beat up. It still works fine, it's still comfortable. I might go for a ergonomic one since, as I mentioned, I'm spending my 3/4 of my time here. Finally, to finish off this video, I have my bed. It's a king size bed. I don't know dimensions that the Americans use, like queen size, king size. I don't know. It's a double bed. That's what we call them in my country. Pretty much no issues. It's super comfortable. I like it, but unfortunately I have to leave it be because it's very heavy to carry around and I don't want to burden myself with this. So hopefully the landlord, the current landlord, wants to keep it. If not, I don't know. He doesn't have an option. But yeah, and I would say a pretty autistic Mario, but again, it's a gift for my mother, so I kind of love it, even though it doesn't look the best it can be. It's a gift, so I cherish it and I like it. So this is the end of the room tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to go through most of that stuff and explain what is. For the next room, I'll try to record when I'm building my new furniture and putting up the shelves and putting my games on. I'll try to do a video going through my collection as well, as I mentioned, like PS4, PS5 and Switch, for whoever wants to see them, because I've been planning this for a couple of months now, but again, I don't want to force myself to make videos. Shout out to my relatives, my family, and I'll see you in my next room in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned and subscribe. Bye bye.